there. We got another day of Route 66 traveling down the Bible Road, if you want to call it that way. Route 66, we're in Luke's Gospel looking at the life of Jesus through the eyes of Luke, the Dr. Luke. So we're going to see some things here today. So chapter 6 and chapter 7, Jesus teaches the Sermon on the Plain. Many people think that this was a different sermon, very similar to the Sermon on the Mount. A lot of things, giving blessings and warnings, calling for us to love our enemies, fruitfulness, forgiveness, obedience. There's a lot of things in there that are similar to the Sermon on the Mount. And Jesus taught the same thing, and probably in two different locations. So it's very well different, but it's still the same. It's a lot of similar things. So see if you can look back on Matthew 5, 6, and 7 and see if you can see some parallels in there. And then in chapter 7, he heals a centurion servant, raises a widow's son from the dead, and praises John the Baptist, his forerunner, the person that came to introduce him to the world. And so he praises him. A sinful woman anoints his feet and shows that forgiveness produces a deep love. And there's a great story in that when you read that one in chapter 7. And so some lessons to be aware of today as you go through it. Christ's kingdom, it values mercy over might. It's not the strong. It's the merciful. It's the meek, the lowly. And we find out Luke chapter 6, verse 36 talks about that. It's not the powerful. You know, we always think that the leaders are powerful. Jesus said, no, that's not the people who are great in the kingdom. It's the people who show humility, the people who show mercy, the people who are meek. They're the ones that are going to be of value in his kingdom. And then a second lesson, faith moves the heart of Jesus. Even a Roman centurion's faith amazed him. And so I think that's a good thing to realize. This person was not a Jew. This person was, if you want to call it, the enemy, Rome. And yet Jesus healed him because of his faith, his trust in Jesus. And Jesus commended his faith. And so it's faith that will move the heart of Jesus to really believe that he can do it. Now, just because you believe he can do it doesn't force him to do it. But I'll tell you what, faith will move the heart of Jesus. And a third lesson, those who are forgiven most love the deepest. That story about here that happened with Jesus where the woman anointed his feet and loved him so much, she didn't care what anybody else thought about her. She just wanted to express her love to Jesus. And I think that's one of the problems that some of us have, is that we don't recognize the sinfulness of our sin, how bad our sin really is, that God would forgive it. And I think if we recognized it, we'd love Jesus even more. And so maybe you can contemplate on your sin just so you can relish and enjoy the love that God has for you. So just take some time and think about how much God loves you, that he would be willing to take the penalty of your sin upon himself so that you can be forgiven, so that you can spend time with him. Boy, I tell you what, that makes you love somebody, doesn't it? So enjoy the day today.